Alright, welcome to this video. This is for all the beta testers of ArcoLinux and the wannabe beta testers of ArcoLinux. Why do I say this? Because we have something to beta test. Ctrl-T, update your machine, but watch out if you're on VirtualBox, and this is the point, do it on VirtualBox. You shouldn't install Xserver and Xcommon. Now all these updates, we don't need them to test it. So I'm not gonna go that way, but I needed to get the new databases in. So Ctrl-T, an update is also saying, well, update the system, but it's actually enough for me now to just update the database. This does not mean updating the system. This means give me the new databases. All right, they're in, which means I can say -s ArcoLinux. We have the Desktop Trasher. The name is a hint that this thing is going to be dangerous. Now there is a beautiful, beautiful icon for it. Desktop Trasher. Trasher. Here it is. Well, if you update your system, right, then the Sardi Surfen icons, the Candy icons, they will all be updated. The thing is, if you're beta testing, you should launch this thing via the, let's make it here, via the terminal. So ArcoLinux Data Trasher, that's the shortcut for it, but at this point in time, that particular bash or C is not there yet. And I don't want to update, so ArcoLinux Desktop Trasher is gonna work just fine. So, to make people aware that this is dangerous, there's a bomb there. The name Thresher means something. It means to demolish, to break, to doesn't mean it's gonna be working 100%. It means, yeah, again, this tool is provided without any guarantees, in red, capital letters, like big letters. Use with care, functionality of other desktops may be compromised, make backups. I mean, the message is clear, this is at your own risk. Ctrl-Alt-T again, the ArcoLinux tweak tool. But you were asking for some kind of tool to get rid of desktops, so here it is. We've always dreaded this thing because it's just impossible with 22 desktops to figure out a way to nicely, cleanly install everything. So it's a dirty solution, and it's an ideal tool if you're still looking around, right? 22 desktops, you're still looking around. Which one do I want? And you want to get rid of some of them in the meantime. And that's what the tool is for. So in this period of looking for new desktops, that's when you use it. And then you decide it's gonna be Mate. Then you download ArcoLinux B Mate. That's the point. These B's are perfect, right? And they will be teamed and tweaked and maintained to be perfect. So that's the point. Now I do see I need to update my ArcoLinux tweak tool as well, since we have here all these icons. So that one I need to get in. Otherwise we're not doing our work properly. So get the latest in of both. And this Trasher is surely gonna evolve more. So always update your system and make sure you have the latest Desktop Trasher and the latest tweak tool, because they go hand in hand. This one installs it, this one trashes it. That's what I've been doing for the last days. Installing, uninstalling, installing, uninstalling, right? I was joking about the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off. Remember the movie? Basically, that's what we do. Desktop on, desktop off. So, without further ado, this one installs it. Awesome, has been installed. You can do different things. You see here etc scal config, awesome. You can also open this folder if you still have the place for it. And the tweak tool makes a backup. right, of the .config, and in here is awesome. Okay, let's move one up. And then we're going to refresh current desktops, because this button is reading the user XD. If it still exists, yeah, it exists already. XD is an alias to print out whatever is inside user share X sessions. So it's going to go into that folder, it's going to find a name, and it's going to list the name in here. So this is what's installed on your system. But things can go wrong. Things can be deleted manually, but that does not, this tool cannot know that. So it just reads, basically simple input, it just reads what's in there. If you manually delete it, Mate for example there, well, all the Mate applications will still be there, but the X session file, you've deleted it, so it's not gonna be in the login, and you can't log in to Mate, that's fine, but all the applications are still there. So that's this option here, remove the installed desktop, means that it's just gonna check the user share X sessions and give you a name. Now we've just done that, the application was open, so it did not check it again. That's why the button is here, refresh current desktops, and then you see awesome is there as well. So I can choose awesome and trash it, but I can choose it here as well. This is a list that we've created. These are our 22 desktops. This is our creation. It does not look anywhere. It's just typed list awesome, comma, BSPWM, comma. We've typed it, right? So if something goes wrong somewhere in the installation, because a lot can go wrong, because we don't have your installation, we don't have your files, we don't know what permissions you're gonna have. Is it root? Is it not root? You've been trashing the place and it will crash, right? So the second one is remove any possible desktop. So if this one fails, you try it with this one, right? And if that one fails, then you do a clean install. So awesome, trash the desktop. What happens? This left terminal shows the action. It says I'm gonna sudo pacman remove -rs awesome git. Gonna remove awesome itself with all the dependencies, rs, right? And the same here with fishes. And it stops. Okay, is awesome now gone? Yes, awesome is gone, the folder is gone, the .config has been removed, and here we have another folder called Trasher. Right? So the backup is here. If something was in there, but that's what we're saying, right? It says here, make backups. This is playtime and crash time and trash time and all you want to call it, but it's a dangerous time. So first backup. But anyway, we made a backup for you, Trasher. The same here, local Trasher. Okay, so now the story continues, right? It's just basically your fun and games, BSPWM, install. These guys are easy. Why? Well, they're not so big. They just have a few applications, right? Trash the desktop. And it goes on trashing this one, that one, removed. And there we go, directory not empty, right? It's gonna give some messages here that are just unavoidable in the future, and now, I mean, that's just part of the system. But BSPWM is gone again. It used to be there. It used to be there, right? There's a backup. And these guys are easy. Let's take a difficult one. Budget desk. It's a major amount of packages, so retrieving packages is gonna take a while. It's going to get GNOME and Budgie. It's gonna check package integrity, and off it goes, installing. The same goes for Plasma. The same goes for Cinnamon, more or less. But Budgie and GNOME were really a pain in the you-know-where. So refresh current desktops. You've got this one, XD, right? You have Budgie desktop there, GNOME Classic there, GNOME there. If I log out, log in, I'll have a real desktop like we use. I mean, the ArcoLinux Tweak tool works, right? So I know I can log out and log in. The thing is, can I remove it again? So if I tried playing around with Budgie and I say, no, don't like Budgie very much, so trash the desktop, you get this long list of files that's going to be removed. Okay, desktop removed. Is the desktop still there? Well, if you log in, log out and log in SDDM, you only have one choice, XFCE. The question still remains, and that's what I've been doing the last days. Is anything still there? Except GNOME Bluetooth, which we want, right? Because otherwise no Bluetooth for you. That's okay. But there might be other remnants I haven't thought about. So the only thing I do, I check first. We should have done that first. This is ArcoLinux XS. I check the menu. Is there something left? Guake is not from XFCE. This should have been deleted, removed. You see? So if things are still there, you say, hey, that's not part of XFCE, because basically that's all we need to have at this point in time. With deleting and installing and all that, we have now just the one. So Guake is a leftover. And it was here, the system. And there are always gonna be remnants. Why? Because of dependencies. Pacman is Pacman, and Pacman tries to remove something, and if there is a reason for it, then he won't remove it. So at this case, there is at this point no reason. So what you can pass me along is, Eric put Guake at the end of the code for Budgie, and then I'll put it at the very end, and it will be down here at the list. Last thing we do is remove Guake, because you see, then it's possible. But removing Guake at the top, somewhere above here, right? I was pointing in the air. So above here, somewhere it says can't remove Guake because of this and this and this dependency. And then it stays on the machine, and that's your Pacman. We can't change the rules of Pacman, nor do we want to change the rules. But for me, I'm gonna write down, if I am removing Budgie, I'm gonna make a new desktop trasher and add Guake at the bottom. And this is basically the beta testing that we've been doing all the time. So noticed one in the video. So refresh current desktops, just XFCE, Guake is gone as well. And in the system, you really need to memorize more or less, okay, what is a normal XFCE? What does it look like as menus? That's the most important thing. If it's hidden away in your system, okay, right, one application, two applications, but the menu should be clean again, should be again an XFCE, because basically this is only for testing. This is really for deciding which desktop do I want. And then you go download the ArcoLinux B ISO, and that's gonna be, well, we're gonna make it perfect. If it's not, we're gonna make it perfect. And year after year after year, it's bound to be perfect at some point, right? So let's install GNOME, and Plasma I want to do as well. I know the video is already 14 minutes. Let's see if Guake is going via this thing, because it's basically another part of the programming. Installing Guake, it says. You see? So refreshing, and then you decide, oh, GNOME is not my thing. Okay, trash the desktop, you say, and off it goes. Lots and lots and lots and lots of packages. 100 already, more or less 200 packages already. Okay. Question is Guake gone? System, is Guake gone? So in this case, with GNOME present, with the packages in the sequence that we've put it, guac is gone. Just to be sure, right? Gua is gone. So sudo pacman minus R S, anything GNOME-like there? Yes, just GNOME Bluetooth, but that's okay. That's the exception. Plasma, next one. So Mate is maybe also a big one. Let's do that one since it's alphabetically. It has also lots and lots of packages, and the GUI is actually helped by packages of Mate. So they're joined to the hip, let's say. I'll refresh Mate, and you see all kinds of things. You say, hey, this is not normal. Let's find a few. Mate stuff. Mate stuff. It's still much okay, right? Not that much. Here is Mate. I have Mate. Mate. So you know Mate is on there, and with the Control T and XD, you know Mate is there. But a Control T, sudo pacman minus remove anything Mate. Right, you know it's there. Now we're gonna remove it. So refresh, Mate is there, trash the desktop. Now if this thing, I haven't told you that, I think, I don't know what I've been telling, but look, here's Mate is still there. You see, moving Mate applets require Mate tweak, things that have changed. Then you do maybe an awesome, you can do this as well, and try again to see if this is gonna help and trash the desktop. Look at that, look at that. Bunch of stuff is going now, right? So now the desktop is removed, and I agree. Minus R, nothing Mate anymore. So that's the point. And there are two options. Try and see which one works for the desktop. In the end, we should have nothing anymore. That's the goal. Again, for experimental use, not for your future system where you're gonna work on. Never do that. Use ArcoLinux B for that. Mate, done. Plasma, go. That's a big one. Lots of installing. But first, lots of retrieving. Thank God for a fast internet. But it takes the time it takes, as simple as that. I spoke too soon, I think. Looks like it's quite slow. Maybe it's not. Who's providing me the packages? It's Osbeck. The first line is providing me the packages. All right, almost done, guys. There we go. You all know Plasma is a huge operating system. It really has everything you could desire. It has really everything. So getting it all in, and more importantly in this context, getting it all off of your computer is a major task. So I spent hours figuring out which thing first, after then, and then, because of dependencies. So that's not an easy task, and you might sometimes see these things. So I left them in, so they're not available anymore, which is okay, but doesn't hurt either, right? So it's what should I take first? And I'm not gonna spend time in figuring out, I can delete this and delete that. As long as the end result is it's gone, then it's okay. Okay, so Control T, XD. All right, Plasma is gone. The question is, of course, well, let me do that again. Oops. Sudo pacman minus R, anything K related there. There will be things there that I say, okay, that's strange, but some of them are really used. Some of the K things are used by other applications. So again, it boils down to is my menu okay? Is this an XFCE menu, or is there a lot of KDE stuff, games or whatever in there, right? That's what it boils down to as a the goal to achieve. In the end, that's what the user sees, and it's not intended as your future system anyway, right? It's intended as a tool for experimental checking out the desktops with this tool, that tool, this tool, that tool. Walks on, walks off, walks on, walks off. Desktop on, desktop off. And then when you decided it, then it's entirely up to you to choose the B version, ArcoLinux B guy. Now maybe some tricky thing, if you are installing, well, XFCE is installed, right? Skipped. But let's assume you want to be living dangerous. Well, that's possible too. You can remove XFCE, being on XFCE. But okay, then you need to have something in the end afterwards, right? You need to have an alternative. OpenBox we've not done yet, so let's install OpenBox. And you can say, I'm gonna keep OpenBox and get rid of XFCE, which does not, it's not interesting for us, because we wanna, once you know a menu, you wanna recognize again, is everything okay, right? Is the desktop gone again? So I can trash the thing I'm on, because I have a reboot button, because you'll see, and that's why I do it in the video, you'll see if XFCE is gone, yeah, it's gone, eh? Control T is there, F12 is gone, eh? XFCE 4 terminal, it's gone. Many things won't work anymore. Fail to, I can't log out, I can't stop, I can't do anything, and I want to reboot. So I've got this button I've created to tell you to reboot. So now SEDM is going to look in user share X sessions. Hopefully it will find OpenBox. I can choose it and I can log in. OpenBox. So it is possible. It's a bit strange removing the desktop you're on, but hey, it is possible as long as you know what you're doing. Now exo open is an application from XFCE. You've removed XFCE4, right? So that's not going to work, the exo open, but the goal anyway is to get rid of those exo things in the future, because dependencies, right? It's you need something of XFCE. I think it's the XFCE4 settings, I believe. Oh well, I don't know, we'll lose time over it. Point is, the Trasher is not meant to be perfect. It's never gonna be, and it will never be, because of the changes ArcoLinux is gonna make in the future. Anyway, right? The group contents change, the names change, the dependencies change, and everything is gonna be different again, as a situation I've recorded now. So it is really the point of playing around with desktops, installing one, removing one, installing one, removing one. It's not the point to be perfect. It's never gonna be perfect. Point. We've tried it for years, and we'll give you the tool. Just accept it's not meant to be for your working system. Then you choose ArcoLinux B ISO. That we can guarantee should be perfect. It would be perfect. Has to be perfect. All right. Cheers. Have fun.